high side on 2, low side on number 3. Okay? Where's the, okay, no. Close that, and open this. So remember, when you're opening these, not to crank them open. You don't want that needle to fly way over to the, okay, that up, open this up slowly, okay, gonna bleed them off, make sure you can get all the air out. See it? All right. So I can mark my differential now if you want. Okay. Basically, my differential right there is at about 7.9. I haven't even looked at this gauge yet because I don't need this gauge. Okay. Now, if I'm looking at my test sheet, one of my things it asks is the line pressure at the time of the test. I can look at it. I've got about 70. We got more pressure over here than we have over there. We got about 75, 73 pounds, give or take. So I would note 73 psi, and just check psi because it's in kPa or psi. Okay. So I'm going to mark 75. Okay. Now my differential across check 1. I'm going to wait 2 minutes. My differential is about 7.8. There's my differential. So I'm going to go down to my number 5, which is check valve 1, pressure differential across 1, 7.8. Okay. Now I want to relieve my relief valve. Remember yesterday I told you bypass valve stays open all the time. There's only one test where I close it, and that's for my relief valve. Okay, it's open right now. So now I'm going to close it. Okay, so I don't want to relieve water anymore, and all I'm going to do is take pressure from the high side to the low side. I try to equalize my pressures to see where this starts to drip, right? So I'm going to open that a bit. I don't need to open it wide open, just about a turn or so, and then I'm slowly going to open this until it starts to drop. When it starts to drop, you just basically sit here and watch it. The analog gauges, again, are a lot easier. The digital ones, I don't know how many of you guys use the digital ones, they're real finicky because if you open a little bit too much, it'll just drop right out. Okay? Sit here and wait. Put your hand underneath it, makes it a little easier. There, she's starting to drip. You want just basically something like that, a steady drip is what you want. Okay, it doesn't have to run, and I would mark that at about 3.6.
So then your other one is 4.2.
So my differential would be approximately 4.2. Okay, so does that unit pass?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay.
So that's all you would have to write down right there.
That's it. Yeah.
And then just the checks for the
Right. So now I'm going to check my check valve number 2. So how do I do that? I take my bypass, connect it up here. Okay. What I'm going to do is open that again, and I'm going to bypass a little bit of water through there before I open my. Okay. One, to get the air out. The other is I want the water there before I open that test cock, right? So I basically pressurize that. I can open that a little bit more. I've got this closed and I've got that open. Now I can come along and I can open this. Okay? And I can sit here and I can watch my pressure. My pressure should stay the same. It shouldn't move. All right? So right now it's at 4.5. I sit here and I wait 2 minutes. Okay? And if it drops, okay, I know that something is leaking. Okay? If I close this, okay, now I can basically prove this, because what happens is if I closed. Okay? If I try to crack this just a hair, try to simulate a leaking valve, she's going to start dropping. Okay. Right?
So at this point, is there a way to know if it was the valve or the relief? that-
Okay, now,
or the second-
if you were to, I'm gonna just pressurize this again. If I leave this open, okay? What's gonna if I leave that open, basically I'm taking pressure from here, putting it through, and I leave it there. So I'm showing about 6 PSI here, okay, or differential from here to there. What's gonna tell me whether the relief valve is, or what's gonna tell me what's wrong if I basically start losing pressure? If I start dripping here, okay, if I start dripping, that means my number 2 check isn't holding in reverse. Right? That's it. If I lose my pressure and this doesn't drip, it's allowing water to go through. Cool?
And all
So
three-
now with that test, basically I've checked my,
all 3 pumps are open.
right, but I've got it closed here, right? So what I've done is I've checked my number 2 in reverse, and I've checked my number 2 shut-off valve to make sure it holds.
Now, would there be any advantage to closing test cock number 3 there? Would that
No,
change
because I've got it
anything?
closed right here.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not going
But if
through
you
just
did
the
close
same.
it, it doesn't matter.
Not gonna matter. Not a big difference at all. I can just.
We should make a YouTube video of you doing this.
Is that what you're doing over there?
Me, this is me.
All right, so basically now I'm gonna come along here and I'm gonna take my shut off number 2, close tight. I'm gonna check it. Check valve number 2, close tight. My check valve number 1, did it leak or did it close tight? It closed tight because I just did a differential on it. I know that it closes tight. I can't do, with this one here, what I just did, I checked number 2, check valve in reverse flow, okay? I know, I cannot check number 1 in reverse flow because if I try it, I'm gonna dump the relief valve. So how do I check it? Basically, if I have my differential, it's passed, okay? And I check it as passed, and your test is done.
If it's seeping though, if you don't wait the full 2 minutes, you
Yeah,
you
right.
might not.
You have to
see
wait
that.
the 2 minutes. Exactly. Exactly. That's why they want you to wait the 2 minutes. It used to be 10 seconds. Way back, if you checked it, it was good. And then they put it way up. I think you had to wait like 10 minutes, and now they got it back down to 2. So they figured about 2 minutes. If nothing, it moved in 2 minutes. And with the analog gauge, it's a little bit different because it's harder to see if something's moving. With the digital gauge, it's really easy to see because you see it in 0.1 of a PSI, right? So if you lose it. And the best thing to do is not, like you see how I got that hanging here? Especially with the digital, have it sitting there and don't move it because just moving, like if I move this one, you don't know, the needle's moving, but you don't really notice what's going on. But if I do that with the digital, you see the gauge going up and down, right? So, or the numbers. All right, so is it getting clearer? Starting?
Phone starting to turn off.
We're not in St. John. All right.